You using the term a little bit loosely.
What you mean?
You sound like one of these progressives, one of these liberals.
Why do they change red man chewing tobacco to America's best?
I don't know, and I really don't care because I don't chew tobacco. You see how I don't care about certain stuff. I just don't.
I wish everyone did.
Yeah.
It's like they changed the Washington Redskins.
That's on Washington. They better not change these Chiefs. Tomahawk chalk, baby. Call it what you want to call it. I don't see no. I'm not offended by it.
Question of the day.
Question of the day. Does racism still exist? If so, what does it look like?
Ooh. Everyone's on their toes. Like, what's this white dude about to say?
No, they're not. They really care less. They want to know what I'm thinking.
What?
No, I'm just like, go ahead.
First of all, I'm Irish.
What the fuck does that mean?
Let's clear that up, man. I'm just saying.
You're white. You're yellow. You're red.
No, I'm a cracker for real. I'm going to say racism does not exist. No. Let me tell you. In 70s, 80s, 90s, absolutely.
Okay.
It was difficult for minorities to get jobs, to get home loans, to get top tier education. That's all changed now. Everything's done flipped. As a matter of fact, the government has put out incentives to hire minorities for companies. I know minorities, black, brown, yellow, red, whatever color you want to call them, that make more money than me, have a better quality of life than me, get opportunities that I don't get.
Okay.
So I'm going to say no. Racism is dead. Done.
Yeah, I disagree.
What?
Racism is not dead. Racism is not what it used to be, and I do think it's over sensationalized. Racism still exists. Today? It's used in everything that we do for some reason, and it's crazy. Like racism back in 80s, 90s, 70s. Let's say racism before early 90s, late 80s was totally different than what people find as racism today. Like people like to use the dictionary and say because you're prejudiced or because you feel like this group is this way, that's what racism is. And the dictionary, which they change the dictionary all the time. Yes, but back then we understood what racism is. Nowadays, racism is not what people portray it to be. I mean, it is based off of the Webster's dictionary, but what it does is it makes what racism actually is less than what it really stands for. So like when people be like, oh, racism isn't that big and, you know, look how black people are treated and such and such and such, it diminishes what it actually is based off of people taking the definition of it and using it to their advantage. To where people be like, okay, you make a joke about a certain race of people or you use a certain dialect around a certain people, oh, you're racist. And I don't believe that. Whether you're black, white, Asian, Middle Eastern, Mexican, I just don't believe that. I believe that those are, a lot of times, you know, jokes are jokes. Mm-hmm. A lot of times, you know, your perceived prejudice or your perceived dialect or how you perceive somebody can be just how you perceive them. It doesn't have to be racism. It doesn't have to be prejudice. If I met one Chinese person and I heard them talking, they was like, that's how my perception of what they saying would perceive as me. It's not racist. People saying like, oh, you know, black people talk such and such, that's not racist to me. Saying white people talk such and such, it's not racist to me. I hate that people use racism so loosely now.
How about this? Can I make a couple statements? One, from the 90s to now, the quality of life of all minorities has increased in a positive manner. Meaning you get opportunities, you get to make bank, you get to have nice homes, nice cars. You don't get the onslaught of prejudice that you would normally have gotten 30 years ago. That makes sense. That's what I see as racism in my mind.
What you're saying is it's dumbed down a lot.
Yeah. But since everyone is so sensitive in 2023, just the smallest, why do black people like Kool-Aid joke, and now I'm racist. And if I said that 30 years ago, they would be like, ha, 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 because that's not really.
But that's what I'm saying. So people use racism so loosely. Like it was an article for Black History Month, it was funny to me, and it was like, it's not bad. It was like the cafeteria gave out watermelon and chicken. And I was like, as a kid.
I'm alive.
But as a kid, when we had watermelon, because we got like watermelon like 2 times as a kid, and we fucking loved it.
Right.
Like, so me thinking like, as a kid, I'm not really thinking about, it doesn't really hurt me. Even as an adult, I'm looking at like, well, I like watermelon and I like chicken. It's not a big deal. I used to go to the cafeteria and get chicken strips, fries, and cheese all the time. So it's like, when you use it so loosely, it's a lot of things that black people like that people just be like, oh, you can't do that because it's race. And to me, it's like.
I would say it's the same thing with a white person. White person likes Starbucks,
pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie.
No. Yeah, pumpkin pie. Yeah,
they like the pumpkin flavored coffees from Starbucks come fall. That's not a black thing. That's a strictly white thing.
They like what?
The pumpkin flavored lattes come fall.
I think so. Yeah.
I wouldn't say that's racist.
But I just like, it's just certain things that deal with certain cultures that I feel like are not racist.
I don't even think if
So let's get into an example of if I feel like something is racist.
Okay.
This past week, LSU won. Women's. I don't watch women's basketball, honestly. I'm not going to lie and say I do.
Sexist.
No, I just don't. Like, when my daughter grows up, she likes to play basketball. She plays for college, I'll watch. WNBA, I'll watch. It's not something that just piques my attention. Like, I'm going to go and watch every day. It just doesn't do it for me. But I watch, like, the criticism that the young black girl got versus the young white girl based off a taunt that she did. Mm-hmm. And to me, that's racism. Because it's painting the picture that black people are monsters. They don't know how to celebrate. They've never been here before. That young girls need to be a certain image in order to... And to me, that's racist.
Right.
Because you're telling this demographic of people, black girls, that they don't fit the criteria to be champions because they did this certain action or she did this certain action.
She did the You Can't See Me,
that
right?
The same other flip side does, whether it be John Cena or whether it be the other young lady. And I just didn't understand that.
I can agree that's racism. Listen, when white people are at the edge, right? When they are offended beyond offense, when they're upset, when they're in their emotions.
Well, man, white people being upset is funny, though. I'm sorry. White people being upset is funny.
And the cause of that frustration or anger is a black person. It's 50-50 if they will fall back to racist thinking or racist habits or racist comments. And so I'm not surprised at that.
Let me not say they will. The majority of them will. I just find it, and I don't mind. Like when Trump was in office, I loved how people were their original self. Like I could see you for who you was.
There's no politically,
It was no walking. You didn't. You said how you felt and you stood on how you felt. And now since Biden been in office, there's a lot of white people that don't walk back what they felt or how they feel.
You got to change your heart.
And that's, to me, that's weak.
What?
That's weak. Stand on your principles. Stand on your morals.
But if your morals and principles change as you grow and develop.
They didn't change because they grew. They changed because we got another president. And I find that very weak. If you don't like black people, you don't like black. It is okay. You don't like black people. You are my only white friend. I do not mind saying that. Because I just don't trust white people a lot. I don't. And it's not because Yeah, it is because of the my past experiences with white people.
Bro, you just voted a white person in as president.
First of all, I voted for a president. I didn't care what he was. What he was. I just voted just because I felt obligated to vote based off of.
The takeaway from this conversation I heard is you don't trust white people. That's concerning.
I don't.
We are your friends.
No. Like, bro, okay, perfect example. Your mom speaks on how she feels, and how she feels is how she speaks.
Right.
Right? But I know your mom.
No.
I know how your mom feels, and I know where your mom comes. I got an auntie that I can speak on how she feels and how she is. But in general,
No.
I see a lot of, in my day and age, in my daily life, I see a lot of people who walk a tight line and say certain things, and then they look at me and be like, oh, should I have said that? And to me, I'm like, why did you feel like you needed to look at me when you said a certain thing? And I just don't. And I just be like,
this happens at work?
It's just weird. Yeah, happens at work. Or you see certain things, like when we get a disruptive white male patient, they treat them totally different than if we have a disruptive black male. It's like they're scared to death of the black male. And me personally, I just be like, he's just a patient. I don't, maybe it's just because of me, I'm a tall black man, and I don't really have no issue. But across the board, I just see him as the same. There's not a threat. Like, I don't get in fear of my life because he's black or white and he's in a mental health facility.
You know, a lot of white people growing up expecting to, with a preconception of what a black, specifically male, is, what they do, how they act.
I know.
And they feel threatened.
Clutch their pearls.
Yeah. Clutch your pearls, or, you know, they pull up to you at a traffic stop and you got your music blaring, you look over and they're going to look straight.
Yeah.
Kind of eye you like
I
that.
mean, that is so weird. Like, it's weird because if you look over and it's a black person, they get mad. They like, what you looking at? But if you look over at a white person, they straightforward. They can be mad as hell, with you, and then they'll turn. Or they'll turn off. They can be going straight, and they'll hit that blinker, they'll turn off. I'm like, bro, it's not even that deep. I don't even have road rage. So, if, you know, you can be cussing me out, and I just don't know. I'm just turning my music up. I don't even pay attention to that.
All I'm saying is some white people, because I've had these conversations.
A lot.
I don't know. Just, I've had conversations with white people that were born and raised to know or to think or to believe that black men are threatening. They're violent. They can't be trusted. They're only there to do harm, to do bad things. And that's fucked up. That you are limiting yourself. That, you know, you're blocking half the country off.
What is crazy is I understand, like, I should be more in fear of black people than white people are.
Why?
Because I'm an actual black person, and I fear another black person to take my life.
More than a white person?
Not more than a white person, but I fear that will happen to me more than a white person should fear that should happen to them. Like, most of the time, things happen to other black people based off of other black people being around other black people. I don't think black people go out looking for white people just to kill.
I think
white people do that.
A lot of white people feel like black people still blame them for racism and, well, not race, slavery, right? And have innate, I don't know, not fear, innate anger towards them.
No, it's fear. They feel like black people gonna do them like they did black people.
Yeah.
We're not. A long history, we have never been that type of people. But that's why I say, like, this preconceived, you know, perception of black people and white people is just weird. It's like you fear something because you see it on the news or because you see it, and we're marketed as this beast and these thugs and these horrible people.
That's true.
And a lot of times we're not. A lot of times you're speaking to a minority of people or a certain area of people who unfortunately have been engulfed in this culture where it's gangs or it's where it's violence. And while I find sympathy in those people, other people just look at them as demons or, thugs or just horrible people. Yeah.
The opposition.
Right.
I would say, in my opinion, from my perspective, racism doesn't exist. I'm in the business world, and everyone gets equal opportunity. As far as I've seen, even when I was a recruiting manager, I would give everyone equal opportunity to come in, display their talents, talk to me about how they would add value to the company. White, black, if their name is John or if their name is LaQuisha, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? I give everyone equal opportunity, and I thought that just happens around the board.
But I think you do it based off of your environment. Like I said, you came up where, like, my grandmother was very good to you. We was good to you. So your perception of what...
She was better to me than she was you, from what I remember.
She was.
Treat your white friends right.
And your mama treat me better than she treated you. She's like, you're the only friend my son ever had. I was like, yeah, I am. But that was based off of you. But I just feel like we should be more receptive of certain situations, but not every situation. I don't believe every situation is racist. I don't believe every situation is deemed as black people are these helpless people that, don't know better. And I think a lot of times that we're looked at or we're used as monopoly pieces to say, we're going to give you this, so black people, you should do this. And I don't agree with that.
If you was at like a grocery store and you about to leave the store and you see a white person stomping on another white person's face, they fighting. Mm-hmm. You going to step in?
No.
What if they're both black? The black person stomping on another black person's face. You going to step in?
No.
Now listen here. What if it's a black man on the ground and a white man stomping his head? You gonna have some feelings innately that says, okay, maybe I should step in.
Bro, that ain't got nothing to do with me. It don't have.
You not gonna step in?
I'm walking.
What?
Matter of fact, I'm gonna do what everybody else say they do, and I'm gonna get out my camera and record it. It might be some good footage.
I thought you would step in. I thought you would say, no, I'm gonna step in. I'm gonna protect my brother.
No. Why? I don't know why they fighting. I don't have the clue. I don't have the faintest idea. I'm not getting involved with that.
Yeah.
Most likely I'm going to record behind something just in case something pop off. That's just me.
Well, I've had this conversation with law enforcement officials, right? And they would step in if the white person was the one getting hurt.
I bet you they would.
If the black person was the one getting hurt, they may or may not step in, depending on the situation.
I'm not stepping in.
In that case, it's a racist, right? Because they're going to protect the white. Yeah. And so I was just asking, dang.
It's not racism. It's just
prejudice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're not impeding nobody. Like you're not. Your own views is not hindering anybody else.
Right.
You just feel like he shouldn't be doing that to a white person. Just like a black person could feel like he shouldn't be doing that to a black person. It is okay to have those views. It is okay to be in same race relationships. It is okay. That is perfectly okay to be pro-black. I don't know what pro-right is, but it is okay to be pro-black.
Just be happy you're white.
I don't even know what that is. Like pro-white.
We this is 2023, January, February, March, April. We gonna make a goal this year to get you some white friends. We're gonna get you some white friends,
bro. That's not gonna happen. I got the same friends I've had since I was young. It's not gonna.
It's never too late.
I don't
to
let
evolve.
people in my circle. I don't let people in my circle. I'm good.
Let us know your thoughts. Is racism still alive? If so, let us know how. From my perspective, as a business person, I don't see it. But shoot, I'm not in the streets anymore.
In the streets?
I'm not in the streets. I'm in the office buildings. I'm in the corporate life.
From my perception, I think it's overused, but I think it's still alive. I think it's still now. It still is in our society. I don't think it's at the same rate as it was in the 70s, where it was, as frequent or as publicized.
Right.
But I think it's still subtle. I think it still exists. I think it's still there. Do I care if somebody say something about black people? doing a certain thing or a prejudice or a stereotype. No.
So someone said that grape soda joke. You're not mad.
I love grape soda. Bro, this is like I don't understand that. I've only met like one person that was black that didn't like grape soda. I just don't understand that.
So it's stereotyping in a joke form. That's fine.
No,
That's okay.
It is a perception based off of what you've been around. That is not it's just a perception. But if I've been around black people and all they drink is Kool-Aid, black people like Kool-Aid. I just don't see the harm in it. If I seen white people and all they eat is pumpkin pie, white people like pumpkin pie. If I've
It's
been
okay
around,
for you to say that.
it's okay for anybody to say that.
But if I say something, black people like Kool-Aid, you know, black people like watermelon.
I don't
fried
think
chicken.
there's nothing wrong with that. There's going to be people that take it out of context. Oh, I'm so mad. Oh, what are you mad for? Do you not like
That's what I'm
Kool-Aid?
talking about. We need to rewind time back
Do
to
they not like Kool-Aid?
25 years ago.
Just
all I'm
ask
saying.
them, do you not like Kool-Aid? Do you not like grape? What did grape do to you?
Fire.
This is weird.
Hey,
But serious question.
you got a question
Yeah, I do.
for the white man?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Do white people smell like dogs when they get wet to you?
Smell like dogs? Yeah, it's weird.
Thank you. That is not that's not racism.
I thought just humans smelled like dogs when they get wet and they kind of
No, it is for some reason white people smell like dogs when they get wet. Sorry, white people, if I offend you. I'm not trying to offend you, but when it rains and they come in and I just like it smells like dogs in here, and I just be confused and I don't want to say it out loud, but amongst black people, this is like a conversation that we have. Like white people smell like dogs.
Okay.
It's like,
But do you know why black people do not smell like dogs? Because you done got the cocoa butter, you got the pink, you got the blue magic.
we love it. We love the cocoa butter.
So, of course you're not going to smell like a dog. You can smell like whatever's on you.
Right. Y'all need to put cocoa butter.
Hey, we appreciate you watching this video. Like this video, subscribe to our channel. Let us know your thoughts on racism. Is it alive? Is it dead? We want to know your opinions. Got anything to say? You want to say something about reparations? You always like to throw that in there.
I love my reparations. I will vote yes on reparations. Do not bring that up in the bill because I will vote yes. And I will vote for whoever president gives me reparations. Don't offer nothing like that to me. Sorry.
Free money.
Yeah. What
Deserved
American
money. Or deserved money, whatever you want, however you want to look at it.
I've done seen every American take a stimulus check when it was free. So don't come questioning me about free money.
Hey, we love y'all. We out.
We do. Peace.